Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
646, I'm Larry Hansgen, 65 degrees in Dayton. Big three things you need to know. Warm and muggy today with a chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm and a high in the low 80s. A Piqua man facing charges now in the death of a 1-year-old girl. And our top story, the death toll rises in fighting between Israel and Iran.
In Israel overnight, at least 8 killed, dozens more injured in Iranian strikes. WHIO's Rich Jones has more.
Iran announced it had launched some 100 missiles and vowed further retaliation for Israel's surprise attack on its nuclear program and military leadership.
In Iran, the death toll sits at least 224 since the conflict between the two countries began on Friday.
Destination Dayton has a list of some Juneteenth events happening Thursday.
The Levitt Pavilion will hold a Juneteenth event starting at 6 o'clock. People can stroll through 2nd Street Market after hours from 5 to 8 on the 19th. There are other ways to celebrate the holiday on your own time. The Paul Lawrence Dunbar House, part of the Dayton Aviation Heritage National Historical Park, hosts tours that tell the story of Dunbar's life. You can also pop by the National Afro-American Museum and Cultural Center at Wilberforce University.
That's News Center 7's Taylor Robertson.
And the Trump administration has directed immigration officers to pause arrests at farms, restaurants, and hotels.
This after President Trump expressed alarm about the impact of aggressive enforcement. The move comes after Stephen Miller said U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement would target 3,000 arrests a day, up from about 650 a day during the previous 5 months. The New York Times reports the directive told ICE Thursday to halt workplace investigations in key industries.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fritkiss, a U.S. official who spoke to the AP on condition of anonymity, confirmed the contents of the order.
We've learned that a Rwandan immigrant was arrested in Dayton, accused of lying on his immigration papers and concealing his role in the Rwandan genocide.
The Department of Justice says Vincent Nezi Giamfura was charged with visa fraud and 2 counts of attempted naturalization fraud. His indictment says he helped plan and lead the genocide against the Tutsis and falsified documents to live in the U.S.
That's WHIO's Ian James. If convicted, he could spend 30 years in prison.
And Washington, D.C., we find it something you need to know about this Monday morning. 2 U.S. senators from opposing parties are pushing for action on a bill that they've co-sponsored to put pressure on Russia to end the war with Ukraine.
Republican Lindsey Graham and Democrat Richard Blumenthal say their bill would impose crippling sanctions on nations that buy products from Russia. Graham said it would have a swift impact.
To China, if you stop buying Russian oil cheap and India, the war machine would grind to a halt.
Senator Blumenthal said moving ahead with the bill would help the president change minds at the G7 meeting this week.
The perception may be one of weakness in terms of America's position on Ukraine. He can be there in a position of strength.
Both senators on CBS Face the Nation.
That report from Fox's Gernal Scott. WHIO News Time, 649.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. Let's take a look ahead at the 5-day forecast. You can make plans for this new work week. Here's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando.
Mostly cloudy today for your Monday. Hopefully a few peaks of sunshine out there. 82 degrees is the high. And we will have a few isolated showers out there this afternoon, but especially this evening, the best chance of you seeing any rain. Tomorrow for your Tuesday, we start in the upper 60s. Some scattered thunderstorms possible through the day. 83 degrees is the high. It's very humid tomorrow and Wednesday as highs jump into the upper 80s by Wednesday afternoon. A few more scattered storms. We are tracking a front to move through early Thursday morning, clearing late in the day for your Juneteenth. Looking nice, mostly sunny on Friday with a high of 85 and nicer humidity.
Live Doppler 7 radar is clear, and we have 65 in Springfield, 64 in Xenia, and 65 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnotta.
Heads up if you're on 70 West coming out of Springfield toward Huber Heights. Just heard reports of a crash 70 West near 675. I've got the camera pulled up and I'm seeing, looks like a van facing sideways. Looks like it may have crashed into the wall. No lanes are blocked right now. Police and fire aren't here yet. On 35 West in Beaver Creek, still slow due to construction. Left lanes blocked between North Fairfield and 675. Also a crash in Sydney at St. Mary's Avenue and Russell Road. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Benton's Bacon has launched a new line of bacon-scented dryer sheets called Smoke Sheets. They are infused with the scent of their smokehouse bacon. The $75 set includes 10 organic cloth dryer sheets, 3 packs of bacon, a T-shirt, and a wooden box. And still to come, are you working hard but not smart? We'll discuss in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time is 6:51.
Nobody likes to be told what to think. That's why we're careful to make sure our news is right down the middle. Both sides and all viewpoints. Then you decide what you think about it. Dayton's News and Talk is WHIO. Depend on it.
With the economy shifting fast, there's never been a smarter time to protect your finances. At Xenia Coin Shop, we buy gold and silver bullion, fine jewelry, and both small and large coin collections with expert appraisals, fair offers, and top dollar payouts. Proudly serving Xenia and surrounding communities, we help turn today's uncertainty into opportunity. Visit us at 30 West 2nd Street in downtown Xenia or call 937-376-2807 today. Xenia Coin Shop, where integrity meets opportunity.
Elevate your kitchen or bathroom with breathtaking countertops from Stone Center of Dayton. Explore our large indoor inventory of granite and quartz, and now featuring a large selection of quartzites. We're locally owned and operated and offer in-house design help. Visit us at stonecenterofdayton.com.
Are you tired of dealing with the same health problems like headaches and back pain and still only utilizing a Band-Aid to cover up the symptoms? Then tune into Living the Full Life, where Dr. Juan explains how to get to the root cause of the problem and fix it. Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on WHIO Radio.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
I want to tell you about a deal that you can do for your savings. Series I savings bonds, available right now, have reset to a new base rate. What does that mean? Series I savings bonds you can buy for as little as $50 to as much as $10,000 in a year, carry 2 interest rates. One is a fixed rate for all through the years you own it, from 1 to 30 years, that gives you above inflation 1.1%. So they give you that 1.1%, so you're always doing better than inflation, plus the current rate of inflation. Added together right now, that's right at 4%. And every 6 months, it resets based on what inflation is, but you're always getting 1.1% more than inflation. Go to treasurydirect.gov to buy them.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our #1 priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains June 13th through the 23rd. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Good morning, Dayton. You're waking up with the information you need to start the day. Miami Valley's Morning News continues on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. A sunny day for the most part. It'll be on the humid side, and we can't rule out chance of showers or thunderstorms this afternoon, but should be okay. Should be okay, hoping so. Got to play a little golf this afternoon. The Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce outing at NCR. So the top 10 signs you're working hard but not smart, according to an article by savingsadvice.com. Number 10, you've been busy for months but haven't hit any major milestones. Number 9, you avoid asking for help because it feels like weakness. Number 8, you're always putting out fires instead of planning ahead. Number 7, you equate exhaustion with achievement. Number 6, you don't use tools or systems to streamline work. Number 5, you work long hours but your results don't improve. Number 4, you micromanage everything, even when you don't need to. Number 3, you rarely take breaks or time off. Number 2, you say yes to everything and end up overwhelmed. And number 1, you're always busy, but rarely productive. Brittany Otto, are you working hard but not smart?
I am guilty of a couple of things on this list.
Okay.
I'll be honest about that.
And they would be?
Number 2.
Saying yes to everything and ending up overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And partially number 9.
You avoid asking for help because it feels like weakness.
But not so much because it feels like weakness, just because I like to do things myself.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay. Now, Jeremy Ratliff, you strike me as a smarter worker than you're pretty good at being smart, working smart, not hard.
Now more than 10 years ago, very much so now. And it's just because I feel like I do a much better job now of mapping out my day. So it's like I will start the week and I will, in my planner, manually list everything so that I know that I'm productive. And I also know what's important as well. But that's not to say that I'm sure I do a terrible job on a few of these things.
Okay. So you write down like your to-do list for each day. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I do the same thing. And I'm going to, now, if you do something that was not on your list, do you then write it down, and then cross it off?
Absolutely. And it feels so good.
I do the same thing. You're laughing, Brittany. Are you laughing at us or with us?
I'm laughing at you.
So you've never done that?
No, I don't do that.
Well, the thing is, you're probably saying you write stuff down on paper.
Yeah, no, I like to write things down on paper, but I also have, the electronic checklists and stuff that I use.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, as we begin a Monday, probably a great reminder to everyone to work smart, but not hard. Okay? That's your friendly advice to start your day here on Miami Valley's Morning News. Top story today, kind of picking up where we left off on Friday, and that is this ongoing battle between Israel and Iran. It's 6:58.
Get ready for Bikes and Booms. We are bringing the thunder to Xenia's Red, White, and Blue Festival. Join us on July 4th for a motorcycle show packed with chrome, fireworks, and the American pride. The first 50 to sign up at the dealership will receive a commemorative coin for the event. Join us for some family fun.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
Okay, we all know homeowners insurance premiums have gone up, and away. And now I'm going to ask you to pay more on your homeowner's insurance. I know what's wrong with me, because there's something that we're not doing. With home values having gone up so much over the last many years, the cost of construction, overwhelmingly, we're underinsured as homeowners. So I'd rather you do the trade-off where you raise the deductible on your homeowner's insurance and raise the coverage limits. It may help cancel each other out, but get you covered for a true disaster. In addition, do you have enough liability insurance on your homeowner's policy? Somebody gets hurt on your property? Most of us don't have enough coverage.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning at 7 o'clock. I'm Larry Hansgen. Welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Monday, June 16th. We've got 66 degrees in Dayton, and here are the big three things you need to know. Going to be warm and muggy today. A chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, high in the low 80s. The suspect in the murder of a Minnesota politician and her husband turns himself in to police. And our top story, the deadly conflict between Iran and Israel continues into a fourth day.
Iranian strikes on Israel have killed at least 8 and injured dozens more overnight into Monday. One missile fell near the U.S. consulate in Tel Aviv, causing minor damage to the building.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Iran is retaliating against the assault Israel began Friday when it attacked military and nuclear infrastructure.
Military leaders and scientists among hundreds dead. All, says Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, because Iran was on the verge of developing its first nuclear weapon.
And so President Trump calling on the two sides to make a deal. But Iran says it won't negotiate while under attack.
Of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing story and bring you the latest details right here on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
A few more chances for storms today. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Miranda. When the sunshine is fully back in the Storm Center 7 forecast coming up.
On 70 West, a recent crash has the left lane blocked at 675 in Clark County, heading toward Huber Heights. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
I'm Larry Hansgen, and this is Miami Valley's Morning News.
I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
Well, breaking from overnight, police in Minnesota had arrested Vance Belter and charged him for the murders of State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark at their home early Saturday morning.
Yeah, Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley says there was a lot at stake trying to capture the suspect.
We have been just solely focused on the manhunt. And the goal is to give some calm to the situation of many individuals that were on the list that were worried about their safety.
Now, Belcher also charged with attempting to murder Minnesota Democratic State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Yvette. Both are expected to live.
A boy arrested after being accused of pouring gas on another kid in Clark County Saturday night, setting them on fire.
Now, police say it's unclear how that fire started. The juvenile was taken to a local hospital, but no information yet on his condition.
That's WHIO's Ian James reporting. The boy was taken into custody.
Now, it was quite the scene. Beaver Creek police called to a car fire yesterday morning at the Green Town Center.
Officers were called on reports of a car on fire inside the Stroop parking garage. Fires like these can be hard for crews. It's because of the confined area, distance from the engine, and visibility problems from trapped smoke. Thankfully, no cars were nearby, so the fire did not spread and cause any other damage.
That is News Center 7's Taylor Robertson.
A Piqua man facing charges in the death of an infant has another court date before his trial is set to begin next month.
A pretrial conference is set for Monday for 34-year-old Michael Mayer. Prosecutors say Mayer slammed a 1-year-old girl to the floor last December, causing a skull fracture.
WHIO's Ron Otto reporting a 4-day jury trial scheduled for July 22nd.
Now, out west, an innocent bystander shot during Saturday's No Kings protest against President Trump in Utah has died. Fox's Deborah Valentine reports.
Salt Lake City Police Chief Brian Redd says the victim, 39-year-old Arthur Folasa Alou, died Sunday. The chief says Lou was mistakenly shot by one of two event peacekeepers aiming at 24-year-old Arturo Gamboa.
Witnesses say Gamboa raised the weapon in a firing position and began running toward the crowd. One of the individuals fired 3 rounds, striking Gamboa and tragically striking the man who later died.
Yeah, police say Gamboa is in custody. He's charged with murder.
President Trump would have unique influence over the operations of U.S. Steel under the terms of the investment being made by Nippon Steel.
Administration officials have provided additional insight into the arrangement that the federal government made as condition for supporting the partnership. Under the government's terms, it would be impossible without President Trump's consent to relocate U.S. Steel's headquarters from Pittsburgh, change the name of the company, transfer production or jobs outside the United States, shutter factories, or reincorporate the business overseas.
That's WHIO's Benjamin Fredkiss.
Now, the increase in hostilities between Israel and Iran led to a $5 jump per barrel in oil prices Friday. Speaking recently, oil industry analyst Trilby Lundberg tells us that we'll have Americans paying more at the pump.
We will see gasoline prices jump anywhere between 12 and perhaps 20 or 25 cents in the near future if oil prices don't retreat.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it for you. Prior to the outbreak of more military action in the Middle East, gas prices had fallen. WHIO News Time 7:05.
I'm Larry Hansgen, and this is Miami Valley's Morning News.
and people to put on a live radio station. But being in the moment with us, live and local, is something you can't get anywhere else. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it. WHIO is the Miami Valley's local station. And here's what's happening at WHIO.com.
Mermaids are coming to the Newport Aquarium. You're able to dive into Mermaid Cove and watch as mermaids swim alongside tropical fish. You have the chance to win 2 tickets for this event. You can sign up now to win at WHIO.com. And the Dayton Air Show will be at the Dayton International Airport on June 21st and 22nd with their 50th celebration. The show will feature food and fun for fans of all ages. Register to win you and your family a 4-pack of tickets now at WHIO.com. And you have the chance to win a Dayton-made gift basket created by First Florist. It includes items from Esther Price Candy, Dots Pretzels, and even the Evening Edge with Todd Holst. I'm Sierra Lawson. Sign up now to win at WHIO.com.
WHIO.com, the Miami Valley's #1 news destination.
Creating your own business is everything. Getting it registered and compliant, not so much. LegalZoom has everything you need to launch, run, and protect your business all in one place. LegalZoom has already helped launch, run, and protect millions of businesses. LegalZoom, now you're in business. Get everything you need from setup to success at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom provides access to independent attorneys and self-service tools. LegalZoom is not a law firm and does not provide legal advice, except where authorized through its subsidiary law firm LZ Legal Services, LLC.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. By honoring your sacred vocation of education, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. From teaching pre-K through 12th grade students to educational administration, GCU's online bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs can help you reach your goals. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu. Initial teacher licensure programs are not available in Kentucky.
Together with the resources of News Center 7, you're on Dayton's #1 news team. Now, back to Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hansgen, and the sun is up and starting to shine pretty bright. We're going to have a day in which we'll see temperatures get into the low 80s this afternoon. Right now, 66 degrees at 7:08.
8 minutes after 7 o'clock.
I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
I'm Brittany Otto. We have an update to share on the Carillon Park Eagles.
According to our Carillon Park Eagle expert, Jim Weller, Willa and Scouts Eaglets now have names. Peace and Liberty are the new names.
That's News Center 7's Taylor Robertson.
In Huber Heights, communities gathered at a music festival celebrating Juneteenth a few days early.
This is the 4th year the Cultural Diversity Citizens Action Commission has thrown the music festival. The Eichelberger Amphitheater was crowded as people listened to live music, ate great food, and participated in activities.
That is WHIO's Rich Jones.
One person in critical condition, another injured after a shooting in Indiana early yesterday.
Richmond police found a victim with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived on scene around 1 a.m. Now, after the victim was taken to a hospital, a second person arrived at a hospital by private vehicle with non-life-threatening injuries.
That's WHIO's Ian James. We're working to learn what led to the shooting.
Now, we've learned that the Trump administration has now directed immigration officers to pause arrests at farms, restaurants, and hotels.
This after President Trump expressed alarm about the impact of aggressive enforcement. The move comes after Stephen Miller said U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement would target 3,000 arrests a day, up from about 650 a day during the previous 5 months. The New York Times reports the directive told ICE Thursday to halt workplace investigations in key industries.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fritkiss, a U.S. official who spoke to the AP on condition of anonymity, confirmed the contents of the order.
Now to entertainment news.
Back when kids roamed free, there were fewer rules, fewer worries, and kids played with a science kit that was actually radioactive.
A new series looks at the perilous products of our past.
Hazardous History, hosted by legendary actor Henry Winkler, is a nostalgia-soaked series that explores the outrageous things we used to do in America that you definitely can't do anymore.
That's Fox's Michelle Polino.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
So did you get out and see a film in the Miami Valley this weekend?
We're all descendants of the finest dragon fighters from
everywhere the Vikings ever traveled.
Now, How to Train Your Dragon flies to the top of the weekend box office.
How to Train Your Dragon soared to a strong $83 million debut in North American theaters. The live-action adaptation follows the unlikely friendship between a young Viking and a dragon named Toothless.
That is Fox's Kathleen Maloney reporting. WHIO News Time is 7:11.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. Our 5-day forecast sponsored by Enterprise Roofing. Enterprise Roofing has been repairing and replacing Dayton roofs for nearly 100 years. For a free assessment, go to enterpriserfg.com. Here's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando.
Mostly cloudy today for your Monday. Hopefully a few peaks of sunshine out there. 82 degrees is the high, and we will have a few isolated showers out there this afternoon, but especially this evening, the best chance of you seeing any rain. Tomorrow, for your Tuesday, we start in the upper 60s. Some scattered thunderstorms possible through the day. 83 degrees is the high. It's very humid tomorrow and Wednesday as highs jump into the upper 80s by Wednesday afternoon. A few more scattered storms. We are tracking a front to move through early Thursday morning, clearing late in the day for your Juneteenth. Looking nice, mostly sunny on Friday with a high of 85 and nicer humidity.
Well, the live Doppler 7 radar is clear. We have 65 in Springfield, 66 in Xenia, 66 at Dayton's Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnotta.
Larry, we do have a minor issue on 70 West. I am seeing a few medics on scene of this crash. This happened last hour. It would be 70 West near 675. Left lane is blocked. It does look like a van may have crashed into the wall here. So if you're heading this way, maybe toward Huber Heights, just stay in the right two lanes. You'll have to slow down just a little bit. We also are dealing with a minor issue still 35 West in Beaver Creek between North Fairfield Road and 675. This is new construction. This is blocking the left lane at the moment. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Reds take 2 out of 3 in Detroit, beating the Tigers 8-4. Guardians not able to cash in on Detroit losing as Cleveland gets swept by Seattle, losing to the Mariners 6-0. Dragons beat Lake County 4-1, return to Day Air Ballpark tomorrow night to start a 6-game series with Fort Wayne. And local protests, part of a chain across the nation. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time 7:13.
This is Dayton's only 24-hour local weather, traffic, and news station. We know that if you scan the dial in town, practically every other station just plays music. At WHIO, we've hired a full staff of news and traffic reporters, meteorologists, and talk show hosts, where it's our only job to provide information around the clock. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. June 16th, 1978, the movie Grease premieres. June 16th, 2015, Donald Trump announces he's running for president.
And we are going to make our country great again.
June 18th, 1815, British and Prussian forces defeat Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo. June 19th, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger announces slaves are free in Texas, celebrated today as Juneteenth. Famous I'm Ron Otto with My Sports Rundown. My opinion on the big stories in sports. The Colorado Rockies recently swept the Miami Marlins on the road in a 3-game series. Now, that's a big deal because it was the Rockies' first series win since last year. They're on pace to surpass last year's Chicago White Sox, who passed the 61 Mets as the worst in the modern era, losing 121 games. But doesn't it seem like the bad teams now are worse than they've ever been? 3 teams lost at least 100 games in 2022. 4 teams lost 100-plus in 23, and we know about the notorious White Sox last year. But let's go back to 1996. Only 1 team lost 100 games, the Detroit Tigers, and no teams won 100. There are benefits to tanking for a season. or 10 if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates. But despite luxury taxes, compensatory draft picks, and revenue sharing, it looks like the gap between the haves and the have-nots in MLB is only getting bigger. I'm Ron Otto, and that's my sports rundown.
Breaking news all morning. The Storm Center 7 forecast to start your day and triple team traffic. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
It's 7:16. I'm Larry Hansgen, 66 degrees in Dayton. Big three things you need to know. It's going to be warm and muggy today. Chance for an afternoon shower or thunderstorm in the high and low 80s. The man who killed 2 people with a sledgehammer will be sentenced today. And our top story, Israel and Iran exchange rocket attacks.
Overnight, a new wave of missile attacks on Israel by Iran. At least 8 have been killed, dozens more wounded in the 4th day of this deadly conflict.
Iran announced it had launched some 100 missiles and vowed further retaliation for Israel's surprise attack on its nuclear program and military leadership.
Yeah, that is WHIO's Rich Jones reporting. At least 224 people have been killed in Iran since the conflict began on Friday.
Thousands gathered at Monument Park in Dayton over the weekend for a peaceful protest of the Trump administration.
Protesters hope to make the message clear. They want to protect democracy and immigrant rights.
That's News Center 7's Taylor Robertson. Protests happened all over the country Saturday, standing in solidarity with the people of Los Angeles.
And in case you missed it, the Dayton branch of the NAACP met Friday to discuss ways to stop gun violence.
President Derek Forward shares he wants a safer summer and asks people to put away their weapons. They ended the meeting with a request for a 30-day ceasefire in Dayton. This was part of the City of Dayton's Stop the Violence initiative, which would use community members to steer youth in the right direction.
That is WHIO Sierra Lawson.
A 3-time Super Bowl champion from Darke County hosts his yearly youth football camp this week.
The Matt Light All-Conference Football Camp will be held Monday and Tuesday at Jennings Field in Greenville. 300 kids from grades 2 through 8 will rotate through drills, scrimmages, and skills training. Registration's filled up in less than 3 hours.
WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. Light's been holding the camp now for over 30 years.
And the last original player in the Women's Baseball League of the 1940s has died.
Baseball icon and teacher Betsy Jochum was the last original member of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Jochum and her fellow athletes inspired the 1992 movie A League of Their Own. Sockham Jochum, who died on May 31st, was signed in 1943, named an All-Star, and also held bachelor's and master's degrees from Illinois University.
That is Fox's Tanya J. Powers reporting. Now, Betsy died at the age of 104.
In golf news, there was a wet but memorable end to this year's U.S. Open.
J.J. Spawn flipping the script on Sunday, overcoming 5 early bogeys on a wet and nasty day at Oakmont. He birdied the final 2 holes, including a 64-foot putt on 18 for the win at 1 under.
And one of the most unlikely final round Sundays in U.S. Open history. J.J. Spawn closes the deal.
That call on NBC Sports.
That's Fox's Paul Stevens. WHIO News Time 719.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen as we take a look at the new work week weather-wise with our 5-day extended forecast and Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando.
Mostly cloudy today for your Monday. Hopefully a few peaks of sunshine out there. 82 degrees is the high. And we will have a few isolated showers out there this afternoon, but especially this evening, the best chance of you seeing any rain. Tomorrow for your Tuesday, we start in the upper 60s. Some scattered thunderstorms possible through the day. 83 degrees is the high. It's very humid tomorrow and Wednesday as highs jump into the upper 80s by Wednesday afternoon. A few more scattered storms. We are tracking a front to move through early Thursday morning, clearing late in the day for your Juneteenth. Looking nice, mostly sunny on Friday with a high of 85 and nicer humidity.
Live Doppler 7 radar clear. 65 in Springfield, 67 in Centerville, and 66 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnotta.
There still looks like a few medics on scene of this crash. Happened around 6:45. This is 70 West. It's 675 in Clark County. So between Springfield and Huber Heights, the left lane is blocked. So we have 2 of the right lanes open. So traffic's been getting around this. It'll just be slow for a few minutes here. We are also dealing with a new construction project, and only 1 lane is open right now for those taking 35 West in Beaver Creek. This would be between North Fairfield Road and 675. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Well, still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, digital price tagging. Does it work? It's our in-depth impact story coming up in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time, 7:21.
A lot of weird stuff happens around here overnight. That's why we feature Dayton's only all-news morning show. Catch up and know what's going on every morning. Miami Valley's Morning News is on WHIO. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
Harley-Davidson Xenia is opening our hearts in our parking lot on July the 12th for an Adopt a Pit event. These sweet, loyal dogs are looking for a second chance, and maybe it's with you. Stop by, show some love, and help a pitty find their new forever home.
I'm Parker Testa with the University of Dayton Sports Update. Dayton men's basketball will head to Florida the week of Thanksgiving to compete in the ESPN Events Invitational. Dayton last competed in this event in 2021 when they beat 4th-ranked Kansas in the semifinals in memorable fashion.
Picked up by Amsil. Mustafa fades away. It's good!
Dayton played Belmont in the championship 2 days later and took home hardware.
He throws it the length of the court, and the game is over. The Dayton Flyers have won, and the Dayton Flyers have won the ESPN Events Invitational.
This fall, the Flyers will be joined by BYU, Georgetown, and the Miami Hurricanes in Kissimmee, Florida, November 27th and 28th. The Flyers have an 8-1 overall record in the event. I'm Parker Testa with your University of Dayton Sports Update. You're on the home of the Flyers, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Oh, such a clutch pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom, too. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Save up to 50% with minimum purchase at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at HIMS.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Area's only all-news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's Morning News continues on WHIO.
Good morning. I'm Larry Hanskin. Welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News on June 16th. It was in this date in 1903, Pepsi officially got its name. 66 degrees now at 7:24.
24 minutes after 7 o'clock.
I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
I'm Brittany Otto. Well, summer technically arrives on Friday.
Only a few more days left of the spring season in 2025. The summer solstice officially arrives this Friday at 10:41 p.m. This is when the northern hemisphere, where we live, is most tilted towards the sun. So that's going to be the longest day of the year, which means after this Friday, the days will start to get shorter again.
That's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando.
Now, here is the WHIO Impact Story, which means we go in depth on a major story every hour.
Remember when digital price tagging drew all sorts of complaints of potential price changes on items in stores?
Well, it appears those fears are not realized.
The concept of digital price tags had people thinking that retailers, specifically grocery stores, could adjust prices throughout the day on key items like food based on supply and demand, affecting shoppers' budgets. At least 3 states have tried passing laws to ban or limit the practice. But researchers at UC San Diego, University of Texas, and Northwestern, reviewing prices at a certain supermarket between 2019 and 2024, found that's not happening. The store introduced digital price tags in 2022, and prices kept within 0.6 of a percentage point.
That is Fox's Evan Brown reporting for us this morning.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
Now bringing you up to speed on what happened over the weekend. 3 area schools competed in the Ohio High School Athletic Association Baseball Championships in Akron.
Minster High School won the Division VII championship 8-0 over Newark Catholic on Saturday. It's the Wildcats' 4th state title in program history. 2 other high schools finished runner-up on Sunday. Springboro lost in the Division I championship, and Graham High School fell in the Division V championship.
That's WHIO's Rich Jones. WHIO News Time is 7:26.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen, coming off a weekend, starting a new work week. But you know what? We get another Saturday and Sunday coming up again. So let's find out what's happening. Sponsored by University Painters.
The WHIO Weekend Preview with what's happening around the Miami Valley. Here's Chris Hartley.
The summer kickoff party is happening over at On Par Entertainment. That's going to be on Friday night. They're teaming up with Warped Wing for live music, food, and lots of beer. The party's going to be out on the patio. The fun kicks off at 5 p.m. It's going to run through 9. The 2025 Dayton Air Show, that's happening this weekend over at the Dayton International Airport. The United States Thunderbirds going to be performing. Kids, activities, food, planes, and fun. 9 a.m. to 6, both Saturday and Sunday. Footloose is happening. That's going to be over at the Children's Performing Arts of Miamisburg this weekend. Various days and show times. For tickets, cpamberg.com. And Pickle Fest, that's going on down at Austin Landing. That's going to be on Saturday. Lots of food, live entertainment, beer, inflatables, and more. The fun begins at 3 p.m. It's going to run through 10:30. Getting you out into the Miami Valley, I'm Chris Hartley, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our #1 priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing zero sugar cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
We either plan to succeed or plan to fail, because we must first train the mind before we can choose a way. Here's a couple reasons why. First, consistency and follow through. When we plan to succeed, we develop discipline and we are driven by our own ambition and also from others who are ahead of us. But when we plan to fail, we chase the wrong things, which keeps us from building momentum and learning from our mistakes. And then you've got accountability. When we plan to succeed, we welcome responsibility for results, good or bad, and we use the results to keep improving. But when we plan to fail, we avoid accountability, which stalls progress and fosters complacency. And remember, every time we fail to plan, we are unconsciously giving failure a head start. I'm Greg McAfee, and I hope this was a breath of fresh air for you too.
This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning, it's 7:30. I'm Larry Hansgen, and welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Monday, June 16th. We've got 66 degrees in Dayton. Here are the big three things you need to know. Going to be warm and muggy today. A chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms with a high in the low 80s. Now, the measles outbreak in Ohio is over. And our top story, Iran launches a new wave of missile attacks on Israel as the conflict between them goes on for a fourth day.
Crews are trying to get a fire under control. They are looking through these buildings to make sure that no one is trapped under the rubble. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings directly affected by this.
That's Fox News' Trey Yingst. He's in Tel Aviv. He says he was able to speak with a man who was injured in the attack.
His name was Gal. He was bleeding from his legs, and I talked to him and I said, "What happened? How are you? How are you feeling?" He said, "My ears are ringing. I can barely hear you." He said he has glass injuries to his legs, and he was waiting to get medical attention.
At least 8 have been killed. Dozens more have been hurt. Fox's Jonathan Savage brings us more.
Iran is retaliating against the assault Israel began on Friday when it attacked military and nuclear infrastructure. Military leaders and scientists among hundreds dead. All, says Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, because Iran was on the verge of developing its first nuclear weapon.
President Trump calling on the two sides to make a deal, but Iran says it will not negotiate while under attack.
Now, of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing story, bringing you the latest details right here on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
It once again feels a little bit humid today. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Miranda. When the humidity returns to a comfortable value in the Storm Center 7 forecast coming up.
70 west at 675 in Clark County. Still seeing the left lane blocked because of a crash. Traffic, though, getting around this in the right 2 lanes. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnato, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
I'm Larry Hanskin. This is Miami Valley's Morning News.
I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
Well, a state audit shows multiple former Village of Yellow Springs employees owe over $19,000 for late federal tax deductions.
These employees, including former Yellow Springs Finance Director Matt Dillon, failed to send payroll withholdings and filings on time, which led to late fees and penalties. Auditors say the charges could have been avoided if the funds and forms had been remitted by the time they were due.
That's WHIO's Sierra Lawson.
Now, firefighters had a challenge battling a car fire in Beaver Creek yesterday. WHIO's Rich Jones reports.
Morning crews responded to the Stroop parking garage at The Green on reports of a car fire, according to the Beaver Creek Professional Firefighters Local 2857. The fire union said this was due to the confined area of the fire, distance from the engine, and large amount of trapped smoke, which quickly creates a nearly zero visibility environment. They also posted photos on their Facebook page. A red car sustained heavy front end damage due to the fire. They had to extend the hand line into the building to put it out.
Yeah, no other cars were nearby for the fire to spread.
Police called to the scene of a car crashing into a local motel yesterday morning.
The crash happened in Moraine on South Dixie Drive. Police and fire crews were called to the scene around 11. Officers say one person was taken to the hospital. It's not clear how seriously they are hurt.
That's News Center 7's Taylor Robertson.
Now, the man who pleaded guilty in the murder of 2 people at Dayton late last year is scheduled to be sentenced today.
Prosecutors say Courtney Lowe used a sledgehammer to kill Daniel and Kathy Bell inside a home on Holly Avenue in December. Lowe pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but was ruled competent to stand trial in April. He then pled guilty to 2 murder counts and a burglary charge.
Yeah, that is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting.
Well, it's a story that continues to grab national attention. A Massachusetts jury will resume deliberations today in the murder retrial of Karen Reed.
The 7 men and 5 women returned to the courthouse to continue looking at the evidence. They left Friday after just a couple of hours of discussion. Reed is on trial on charges including second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence, and leaving the scene of personal injury or death. Prosecutors say Reed hit her boyfriend, Boston cop John O'Keefe, with her car at a friend's home, leaving him to die in the snow. Her defense claims Reed dropped O'Keefe off at the home, and that was the last time she saw him alive.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott.
So did you see it here in the Miami Valley? How to Train Your Dragon came in at number 1 at the weekend box office. Behind it,
Disney's Lilo and Stitch slips to second place after topping the charts for 3 weekends. It added another $15 million, pushing its domestic total past $386 million. Materialists, a romantic dramedy starring Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal, rounds out the top 3 films with a $12 million debut.
That is Fox's Kathleen Maloney reporting. WHIO News Time is 7:35.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. And your consumer warrior Clark Howard says with summer vacation season here, take a vacation.
There was a study done by the Harvard Business Review that found that employees who took more time off ended up having a 30% higher chance of getting a raise or vacation. That people's performance when they're at work is superior if they take more time to separate from work.
And you can get more online at Clark.com. You can research different topics there, leave questions for Clark and his staff. And still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, flash flooding deadly in West Virginia. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 7:36.
Nothing is more frustrating than sitting on 75 in traffic and not knowing what's going on. Your phone, not so helpful. That's why we're the home of Triple Team Traffic. Every 10 minutes. WHIO is Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
Whatever the weather outside, stay comfortable inside with Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality and comfort matter the most. Our cost-effective systems for your home or office and planned service will save you some bucks. Bucks. That's right, Sarah bucks. That will keep your wallet happy. Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, a reliable local family-owned company that always produces great results. This is Sarah Tanner. Call 299-2500 or go to tannerhvac.com to schedule today. Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, a name you can trust.
This is the legendary WHIO, the king of sports in Ohio. We've got the biggest sports teams and leagues on both radio and TV. This year, we're proud to be the home of NFL with Cincinnati Bengals football on Channel 7. The Southwest Ohio home of the Cleveland Browns on WHIO Radio. The biggest Big Ten games during the season every Saturday, including Ohio State football. The CBS NFL Game of the Week. The home of University of Dayton basketball and football. The Touchdown 7 high school football games of the week. The Dayton home of March Madness, the Masters, and PGA Championship. When it comes to the absolute biggest sports brands, WHIO Radio and Television is the king of Dayton sports. WHIO, Dayton's news, talk, and sports station.
Electricity is more than a source of energy. At its best, electricity is a rush, a thrill, a feeling. From hybrids to plug-in hybrids to the all-electric Lexus RZ, this is our take on electric. One that puts what you need, what makes you feel confident, inspired, excited, above all else. After all, if it doesn't spark something in you, is it really electric? Click the banner to discover more. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Dayton's only all-local news radio station. The power of WHIO Radio and News Center 7 means you'll know first. This is Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. Going to be another warm day today. Temperatures reaching the low 80s this afternoon. Right now, 66 degrees at 7:38.
It's 22 minutes before 8 o'clock.
I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
I'm Brittany Otto. Well, breaking from overnight, the suspect accused of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses, killing one of those couples, has now been captured.
Yeah, Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer brings us a special report.
Investigators say Vance Bolter was found Sunday near his home in a densely wooded area about 50 miles southwest of Minneapolis. We're told he crawled to law enforcement during his arrest. Earlier in the day, police found a car with 3 AK-47s and what appears to be a second hit list. Officials believe the 57-year-old impersonated a police police officer to gain entry into the victims' homes early Saturday. State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were shot multiple times. Both underwent surgery. State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed in a separate shooting less than 10 miles away.
Yeah, the suspect has been charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz claiming the shootings were politically motivated.
Well, were you there? A local festival had live music, good food, and lots of things to do.
People in Huber Heights had a fun-filled day celebrating Juneteenth just a few days early. For 5 hours, the Eichelberger Amphitheater on Brant Pike was packed with people celebrating the holiday with a music festival.
That's News Center 7's Taylor Robertson.
Now, there are now 270 confirmed deaths from the huge airplane crash in India that we have been reporting on.
All but one of the Air India flight's 242 passengers and crew perished in Thursday's disaster, along with tens of people on the ground at the crash site in Ahmedabad. The total could rise as officials matched DNA samples with those of people still missing. The Boeing 787 bound for London crashed less than a minute after takeoff.
That is Fox's Jonathan Savage.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
Tonight, another big one for local Pacers fans.
It has been a back and forth over the first 4 games, and now a best of 3 will decide the NBA title. Game 5 is in Oklahoma City tonight, with the Thunder trying to make their first lead of the series and the Pacers trying to head back home, 1 win from a championship.
That's WHIO's Christine Bellino. WHIO News Time 741.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. Our 5-day extended forecast is sponsored by Enterprise Roofing. Enterprise Roofing has been repairing and replacing Dayton roofs for nearly 100 years. For a free assessment, go to enterpriserfg.com. And here's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Miranda with us in studio to take us through our new work week.
Hi, Larry. Good Monday morning to you. We do have some sunshine peeking through the clouds today. It's humid and it's warm, seasonable. Feels like June. 82 degrees is the high. There will be a few isolated showers out there today. Some areas you may just be stuck under a little bit of some sunshine, but some areas getting some downpours. Tomorrow, you'll really notice the humidity ramping up. Some scattered thunderstorms through the day possible. 83 degrees is the high tomorrow. 88 degrees by Wednesday. The tropical humidity is back. I'm tracking a cold front that moves through late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Could give us a few severe storms before sunrise Thursday. Clearing out for your Juneteenth in the afternoon. Mostly sunny, really nice on Friday. Nice humidity, 85 degrees. Summer officially arrives at 10:41 p.m. Friday night.
Live Doppler 7 radar clear, 65 in Springfield, 66 in Englewood, and 66 at Dayton's Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnato.
They're still seeing this crash on 70 West at 675 in Clark County. This happened about an hour ago. Still blocking the left lane. Looks like medics have left, so maybe just waiting on a tow truck to get here. But if you're heading this way, you'll just need to stay in the right 2 lanes. Don't need to reroute for this. Now, also, we're going to be running into slow traffic on 35 West right now. This is due to construction. The left lane is blocked between the North Fairfield Road exit and I-675. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnato, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Well, our top story again this morning, the fighting between Israel and Iran entering its 4th day. What might the possible outcome be? Well, we'll ask Dr. Glenn Doerr, professor of international studies at Cedarville University, when he joins us live in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 7:43.
WHIO is the Miami Valley's local station. And here's what's happening at WHIO.com.
Mermaids are coming to the Newport Aquarium. You're able to dive into Mermaid Cove and watch as mermaids swim alongside tropical fish. You have the chance to win 2 tickets for this event. You can sign up now to win at WHIO.com. And the Dayton Air Show will be at the Dayton International Airport on June 21st and 22nd with their 50th celebration. The show will feature food and fun for fans of all ages. Register to win you and your family a 4-pack of tickets now at WHIO.com. And you have the chance to win a Dayton-made gift basket created by First Florist. It includes items from Esther Price Candy, Dots Pretzels, and even the Evening Edge with Todd Holst. I'm Sierra Lawson. Sign up now to win at WHIO.com.
WHIO.com, the Miami Valley's #1 news destination.
At WHIO, we have a really unique and special morning news show. It's called Miami Valley's Morning News. You always get the latest forecast and traffic updates every 10 minutes. Plus, the news from overnight you might not have heard about. We think it should be your first place to check in each day to hear about the stories that everyone's talking about. Would you give us a try tomorrow? 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
Our new Midway Trailers is now Rodock. Same great family-owned company with the same great service and staff. You'll find a trailer and quality brand for every need. When you need to haul, give Rodock a call. Visit rodock.com. That's RODOC.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good.